everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Reaction Therapy. I'm your resident psychotherapist, Tom Stevens, here to break down lyrics to some awesome music. And today is guaranteed it is mental health time. It's none other than Dax PTSD, latest song that's come out from Dax. You know we love everything he creates. We love being able to sit down and talk to him and hear what's behind the art that he creates. You know our purpose, spreading mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics, and that's what we hope to do. I cannot wait to see this. If you want more reaction therapy, go to Patreon, go to YouTube, and also we have a podcast channel out now on YouTube, the Reaction Therapy Podcast channel. Go check it out when you get a chance. We have artist interviews like Dax. We have mental health topics. It's all there for you. Check it out. But without further ado, my gosh, it's time. Dax PTSD. Oh, cannot wait for this. And you see that right off the bat, inspired by real events. He's about to get real. He's about to get vulnerable. You know, talk about men being vulnerable. It's so hard for them to do it. They don't want to do it. And the society sees it as weakness also, but he's about to do it. That's straight up Dax.
I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday.
Man.
I was walking home on a Sunday. Not looking back, but I'm not looking forward to anything in my life, cause it never liked me. I can't sleep cause I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me. And I think I'm
What the heck is that picture?
Cause I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me.
They all knew. Oh my gosh, this is uncomfortable. What a beat, what a song. Do you hear that? It sets the tone for what he's talking about. He's coming out of church, it looks like, all dressed in a suit, beaten up, tattered, and he's going to reveal the past.
I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me. And I think I'm over it, so I won't stop walking. If I told you to start.
This is like, got the priest, got him in church. Man. You know, the reality when you see that beginning, you know, with the devil haunting, trying to divide, that's the reality. You know, we're in a broken world. Everybody thinks, well, if there's a God, then why does he make everything amazing? Well, the reality is the story, you know, it was amazing. And then humans, we screw it up and we make decisions that, you know, we're human. So we aren't in a utopia here where everything's perfect. And there is evil in the world. And because of that, I do believe that God has a purpose even for the tragedies in our life to overturn and create good in the world. But it's so difficult to see horrible things happen, especially to children. If he's talking about when he was younger, it's just so difficult for me to see because it creates a path forward of PTSD, of misery, because no matter who you meet, you will be re-triggered by that over and over again. I wonder what this is about.
Stop walking. If I told you the story that you wouldn't believe, not sure I should feel a sigh of relief. Yeah, damn, but he didn't get me. But for some odd reason, I don't feel free. So now,
man. This guy going in, reflecting on the past, a priest touching him, doing completely inappropriate things, wrong, terrible things. And then he's got the gun like he's going into attack. This other guy's doing it. Oh, did you hear that? Boom, boom, boom. I just need to go back and hear this through because I need to hear this.
I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. Not looking back, but I'm not looking forward to anything in my life cause it never liked me. I can't sleep cause I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me. And I think I'm over it, so I won't stop walking. If I told you a story that you wouldn't believe, not sure I should feel a sigh of relief. Yeah, damn, but he didn't get me. But for some odd reason I don't feel free. So now what? This pain is too much. The screams of the people make music in my head and to listen's too tough.
I wonder if there was this guy who was molested by a priest, came back as a grown-up to shoot up a church, and Dax was in the church while this happened. And he got other people and killed other people, but didn't get him. And now he has the PTSD from that event, which, by the way, if that's the case, is incredibly difficult to overcome. Like walking into a church, smelling the smell of that church, hearing the sounds of anything popping or screams from people. Even if they're not scary screams, you could hear somebody go down a roller coaster who's screaming because it's exciting and thrilling, and you can be triggered back to that event. So many things can trigger us back: a sound, a sight, a smell, a taste, a touch. All of those senses. That's why people sit very carefully in restaurants sometimes, or park themselves a certain place, or avoid certain places. And if that's the case, then he would have, and you go on like normal. Like you'd look at somebody like Dax and think, no issues whatsoever. And then he's got this story that you could be sitting next to him in a church and he could be completely, eyes wide open in kind of a panic mode inside, which is that hyper vigilant state we talk about. And the anxiety and the blood pressure and everything starts ramping up and you don't even see it in him. But that's what distress and the PTSD will do to you unless it's untreated. And that's why we talk about treating trauma and PTSD so much in our practice, because that's why EMDR is so valuable, because it allows you to be able to desensitize the brain to it. Otherwise, the trauma is going to continue to recur over and over again, which is what creates crazy feelings and thoughts.
So now what? This pain is too much. The screams of the people make music in my head and to listen's too tough, so I must wipe my mind of everything I saw in that church. Suppress all these feelings even though that they hurt. I don't understand how you could let this happen. God, I wanna know why you would even let that man on earth. I believe that this life is by you and whatever you choose is the best.
Here's the conversation again. Dear God, he's having that conversation again. How could you let that man on earth to do that damage and destruction? I also wonder if he's carrying that picture because it was a picture of that guy with the priest. Oh man, if that was on the ground or something and that guy came in to shoot up the church and he left the picture there. Very interesting. But here's the conversation with God. Like, I want to know. I don't understand this. I believe this life is by you. Like everything is by you and from you. But it's so hard to imagine. How do you let hurt and tragedy and this happen in the world?
I know why you would even let that man on earth. I believe that this life is by you and whatever you choose is the best. I believe in the choices you make even though they may hurt and affect.
Yep.
I'm just human, I don't understand you. I know you are very complex. What should I go do next? My thoughts cannot connect. My PTSD shakes me and leaves me depressed. In the back of my mind there's a place that I know full of sorrow. When I think of those times my anxiety feels what is hollow. I don't know when it'll go away, but I hope it'll go away. I just pray I feel better when I sleep and wake up tomorrow.
This is one of the most difficult parts of PTSD, especially if it's any kind of trauma. There's two pieces. Number one, the story of somebody being molested, and especially as a young person, that is so wrong. And it's so difficult. It just doesn't go away. And then the second is if you're in a place where there was a shooting or something that happened, it just doesn't go away. You always are imagining that next time it's going to happen. And it doesn't go away. So that's what I would tell Dax, and that's what I would tell people in life. It just doesn't disappear like that. We hope, we pray, we just do our best to try to wish it away. And the trouble is there are continual triggers in relationships with people, in sounds of people's voices, in smells, like I said, in sights, places we're sitting where it reminds us of that. That's that whole triggering moment back to an incident, a song on the radio that could be playing. Anything could trigger us. And so it never goes away. And that's why the mental health treatment, is so valuable. That's where something like EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, comes back in. There's bilateral stimulation of the brain. It's very simple, but sounds more complex. There's bilateral stimulation of the brain, tapping on both sides of the brain alternately with a traumatic event, with an anxiety-ridden event, with a trauma. You go back into that trauma, even though you're safe now and not in it. You go back into it, and you allow this bilateral stimulation to happen, and it desensitizes the brain to the trauma. So when you go back and try to recall that trauma again after treatment, the anxiety goes down, down, down to where you can recall it. It's not fun. I don't like it. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I'm not so riddled with anxiety from it. That's one of the best treatments we found rather than talking. I found a lot of times that talking about a traumatic event with somebody with PTSD actually can exacerbate the anxiety some. It's good to get the story out, but after a while, it just is like I'm bringing it back up every single time. And that's why we wanted to get different training, because Jill and I, because we realized this is just cycling for people. They're not getting out of the trauma at all. And he is describing it super well in terms of the memories, in terms of the feelings of having kind of being right back in there again. And I just want it to go away. Can I wake up tomorrow and have this go away? And so often the answer is no.
Don't know when it'll go away, but I hope it'll go away. I just pray I feel better when I sleep and wake up tomorrow. Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Don't look back.
This is so key. I'm going to let this play through because I want to see this entire last scene if this is the end. Left foot, right foot. You know what we talk about here at Reaction Therapy. Keep moving forward. Keep trying. Keep pushing forward. Try not to let yourself stay stuck and trapped in the trauma. Keep moving forward. Get help, though. You've got to get help because that's what's going to help with trauma. But keep moving forward because life can get better as long as we keep moving forward. Here we go.
Wake up tomorrow. Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Don't look back, your past is haunting. Demons creeping, always stalking. In that church, I got down crawling. Could not stop my eyes from bawling. Children screaming, bodies falling. Keeps on shooting, bullets honking. Someone help us, please just stop him. Why is he laughing? He's been plotting. Says get up, I hear death calling. I stood up and started walking. We locked eyes and he was smiling. Shot himself, I saw him dying. Adrenaline was in my system, I couldn't stop. I had to go, but I just knew that if I made it, I'd get out and praise the Lord. Now I'm walking on this Sunday and I just hope I make it home.
Oh no, no way. This is real? Did you see how that unfolded? This guy comes into church, starts blowing everybody away, by the way, before the priest. And then one shot to the priest, gone. Dax stands up, faces the guy. The guy's smiling, hands him the picture, and then shoots himself. Whoa, I did not expect that at all, y'all. Oh my gosh, I got to see this again. Oh, wow.
Keep walking, left foot, right foot, keep walking. Don't look back, your past is haunting. Demons creep.
And I think he's going in to shoot everybody because he said they all knew. Everybody in church, my family, friends, whoever, all knew this happened and did nothing about it. And so it's his ultimate revenge on everybody. And maybe Dax was a guy that wasn't a part of somebody that knew. He was just there. Whoa, here we go.
Always stalking in that church, I got down crawling, could not stop my eyes from bawling. Children screaming, bodies falling, keeps on shooting, bullets honking. Someone help us, please just stop him. Why's he laughing? He's been plotting. Says get up, I hear death calling.
Oh, he said get up. The dude saw Dax and said get up. I only say this because I've seen situations like this, and I've seen people at death's door, like where somebody is about to shoot them and kill them, and they've survived, and just a story of horror.
He laughing, he's been plotting. Says get up, I hear death calling. I stood up and started walking. We locked eyes and he was smiling. Shot himself, I saw him dying. Adrenaline was in my system, I couldn't stop, I had to go. But I just knew that if I made it, I'd get out and praise the Lord. Now I'm walking on this Sunday and I just hope I make it home. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday.
We had the picture of him. It looks like with his family, who maybe was all in that church. Look at that, those words. I was walking home on a Sunday, like it's just a normal thing. And those words, if I just knew if I made it out, I would praise the Lord. And oh, I can't wait to hear the story behind this. Love that. Just to have a post of a place to go. WannaTalkAboutIt.com. Had not heard about this before. If you've ever experienced sexual violence or abuse and need help, WannaTalkAboutIt.com. Dax PTSD. That was as accurate a depiction as I could find. And also of two different scenarios, right? Like being involved in an active shooting and also being involved in a completely inappropriate relationship with somebody being, using their authority against somebody who's younger. And it actually played it out where he was older. So I cannot wait to hear the story one day from Dax about this in real life and to talk about what the trauma does, because this guy now ends his life. And he's gone. He was there to do the job he was there to do. And Dax is there to live with this after. So remember, PTSD doesn't just vanish. A trauma can vanish, like a trauma that we have, like a car accident or something. I can have two people get in a car accident that's really bad. And one can walk away saying, I don't ever want to get in a car again. I feel totally unsafe every single day. And the other one can be like, wow, I feel so safe and protected. This car kept me from really getting hurt or dying. And so I feel really great, and they can get back in a car tomorrow and be fine with it. But it's what trauma does to us. So when PTSD locks in, it's almost like addiction, right? When we say once a pickle, you can't be a cucumber anymore. Once you're an addict, you can't go backwards. That's it. You can recover, but you can't just go back to nothing again. This is the same with trauma, with PTSD and trauma. Once trauma gets to the point of PTSD, you have to get treatment for it, or you're going to be living with continual triggers. And the help is out there. Getting some EMDR is out there. WannaTalkAboutIt.com is out there. There are a lot of resources out there, and Dax, love it. Thank you, Dax, for highlighting this, because mental health does matter. As I wear on my clothes, it is important. And that's why we do this channel, is to listen to great music, great lyrics, and talk about mental health. But remember, this isn't real therapy. It's just Tom breaking down lyrics to music. If you want professional help, check the link in the description. Go to WannaTalkAboutIt.com. Any resource you can find, get some therapy, look for some EMDR, or ask ask for help because it is worth it and you are worth it. Also, we've got a new podcast channel, Reaction Therapy Podcast on YouTube. Go subscribe because we are interviewing artists about stuff like this. And maybe we can get Dax back on to talk again in a podcast about this to spread the news to everybody. And go to Patreon or YouTube if you want more content. Leave us your comments, feedback, insight. Thank you, Dax, so much for spreading mental health awareness to the world. Nick and I are grateful for you, and we're grateful for everybody watching this. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.